And he had a sex tape on J.Lo. Jennifer Lopez has multiple tapes. We knew then that there was a nice tape out there on J.Lo. Mr. Combs was in the tape. And this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs. His father done things to him that he should be in jail for. And I can tell the video was graphic in nature. Can't tell you about the first time I met him. The real truth can't speak on it. You know, some stories gotta be untold. Jennifer Lopez's career is about to be over because of Diddy. Her freak-off video with Diddy is all over the place in Hollywood. I'm going to show you. The video was owned by somebody you wouldn't even expect. And why so many other celebrities are now getting worried. Because J.Lo is just the tip of the iceberg from the people that are involved. And this list is so long and crazy, you won't believe what I'm going to show you. Because for the first time ever, real lawyers on national TV are admitting the tapes are out and being shopped. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped? Yes. There already have been tapes of leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. Notice how she said multiple tapes are being shopped. And you know who also mentioned multiple celebrities in Diddy videos way before he got arrested was Jaguar Wright. My focus right now is Sean Combs, because he's a sex trafficker, and he's using music and entertainment to sex traffic, and wow, that's exactly what he got arrested for. But you know what's next, is she names people that you won't believe that are on the Diddy tapes. So let's break down the celebrity list, because I'm starting to believe her. Because guess what? Not one celebrity has filed a defamation lawsuit about her lying. And not one have spoken out and said anything about Diddy that she mentions. Coincidence? I know Jennifer Lopez has multiple tapes. Oh yeah, there's definitely a tape out there. Somebody gave me like a minute of a female that was allegedly J.Lo on it. I was going to put all the DVD on that. J.Lo had her business attorney. This guy named Beanie Medina. He was the one managing J.Lo and Puffy at the time. That's the only reason we was going after J.Lo. J.Lo was with Puffy. So J.Lo was on the war. Right, our PR people. It was about 8 top-notch executives inside this meeting. When I'm walking in, they were on me. So I was like, ew, sure. You gotta remember, Ja Rule and J.Lo had that hot song out. At the time, Irv and Suga relationship was starting to look good. He was like, man, that tape you had on J.Lo, man. Remember when Sug was saying that a sex tape with her, and he had a sex tape on J.Lo? I mean, Sug, she'll do this, can't do that. Destroy that if you got it. He said, yo, Gotti for you. Tell her no one will ever see that. Has anyone ever seen that? Now, J.Lo was on top of the world at the time, with records with Ja Rule, but we all know that songs were stolen. Her vocals weren't even her own vocals. And that's a whole nother story for another day. She seems like a nice person, so it's unfortunate that they're trying to shop her tape around. But it would make sense why Ben Affleck is stepping away from the public eye with her, and that's why they got a divorce. Because the media storm that's about to drop down on every celebrity is going to be big. One particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became. It's rumored that a lot of these tapes are being possessed by the street workers that were involved in these acts, and they are trying to sell them back to the people in the tapes that had no knowledge of them being recorded to see if they can get some money out of them before they leak. In Diddy's case, when they go to trial, I definitely know they probably recycled some old Stevie J and Eve stuff. We know Stevie J is on tons of tapes with Diddy. Not only are they best friends for 20 years, but he's been to numerous Diddy parties. Even 20 years ago, a tape leaked with him and rapper Eve, when they were dating, of him doing stuff to her while he was doing stuff to himself. But regardless of which, that's just one tape that got out. So we know there's more. They got Stevie J on mad tapes. Yo. They got him on tapes with Diddy. With Diddy. They got him on tapes with Justin. They got him on tapes with Jaden. They got him on tapes with a lot of people. Now those are pretty big allegations. But there are some weird things when you connect the dots. We know the Diddy and Justin Bieber connection is pretty strong. A lot of questionable things on camera with those two that we're not even going to get into then. You also did have a weird connection with Jaden and Justin. They're very close. You see them kissing sometimes. Not to mention Will Smith has an obsession with kissing Jaden on the mouth all the time. So it makes sense that he does it to other men. Not to judge Will, that's his son. He can do what he wants. But he's doing this on public locations and places on TV. So I put it out here for you to judge, you know. See, nobody ever asked why Jaden left that house so young. I know, but he hates Charlie, and I wish somebody would ask him why. Yeah, well, his father done things to him that he should be in jail for. So his father done things to everybody. His father done things to everybody's kids what they did to Basha. See, that's why me and Charlie into it over Basha. She's mentioning Charlie Mack, and it's all connected. 'Cause he's Will Smith's best friend, and they grew up together. He helped them with management. Then he started managing Bashir Gray. And there's a ton of rumors of Diddy and Will Smith taking advantage of Bashir Gray. Just allegations. But I did find this strange interview where you could see something's wrong with Bashir Gray as Will Smith is talking right next to him. He's with my man Charlie Mack. So Charlie was with me every step of the way. First, out the limo. So Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love. A whole lot of love. And all he has to do is add discipline, and he going to be alright. It's like Uncle Will. You know who is best to give you advice. And it's Will Smith. And I'm getting so much good advice. I got my first acting role, Empire. And it's changing my life now, for being a promising young actor on a great show. I don't know what could have caused him to turn to some craziness on his Twitter. Don't go there if you're at work. Let's just put it like that. But he's turned into something unbelievable, and I don't know how he got to this point. But it's definitely X-rated. How many people would dump being a movie or TV star to go into just of content? I know Drake got a tape. Now Drake did say in an interview once that he owns all his personal tapes. But that doesn't change the question of how many times did he get recorded at Diddy parties, doing things on camera he didn't even know about. Because we all know Drake doesn't like Diddy. They had a beef in the past. And Diddy even tried to put a hit on Drake once. Just like he did Tupac. Him and Diddy were beefing. Well, you talked about how you found out that they're trying to set up Drake in La. What exactly was that about? Right. They had a little beef over something in Miami, outside of La. There were like calls, going around La, and it was like, Drake here, Drake there. Who will run up on him? I'm not saying it, it didn't come from Diddy directly, but LA is LA get tricky. So there's certain people that are going to get called, and I'm one of those people. So I had privy, Drake to a little information. So I told him like, yo, this is what it is. But we over here, and I'm pretty heavy. So we straight now. If someone tried to put a hit on you, would you act like you guys are still cool? 'Cause even when he originally dissed Kendrick Lamar in the Push-Ups track, he had a line for Rick Ross that said he's jumping in. This guy's turning almost 50. Worry about whatever's going on with you and Diddy. But he took that line out of the original leak. So, right there, worry about what you've got going on with you. And if somebody says Puff in the background, I know Rihanna got a tape. I know Chris Brown's on one of them tape. Now we already know this thing with Rihanna, and Chris goes deep. And they have been to plenty of Diddy parties. Chris has been going since he was 15 years old. At one point, Hustler magazine said they had a tape of Rihanna and J. Cole together. And J. Cole did open up for Rihanna at one point. And they were seen in Barbados when he was filming a music video for his song Can't Get Enough. At one point, J. Cole did tweet that a girl at his show stole his phone. Which would make sense if she then sold the tape to Hustler magazine. How would J. Cole even have this video? Because Rihanna said a video doesn't exist. Then again, if you're being recorded without your knowledge, you wouldn't know the tape existed to begin with. And it could have been that Diddy texted the tape to J. Cole to make sure he gets in line or they release it. There's plenty of speculation to go around, but this is just all alleged. As we know, J. Cole and Diddy had their own beef, and it was very public. He got into a fight with Diddy because Diddy tried to throw a drink on Kendrick Lamar, and Cole stepped in. They started scrapping, and they had to separate it. And then he went on to make a diss track about Kendrick Lamar, but he wouldn't comment anything about Diddy. Anyway, here's Jay-Z being weird about how he signed Rihanna. When she walked into our office, I was like, she just had, it was just something about her. It was just, she had this, we just sent about it. And then she performed the song. And I was like, okay, that we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. A window, when a door. Oh, then you said, there are two ways to leave here. Either through the door with the deal sign, or through this window. And we're on the 29th floor. We signed it at night. We didn't let it leave the office. Really, the 3 in the morning was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 in the morning. Wow. That day I was absolutely certain. Now, I don't want to jump around to too many conspiracy theories. And these are all rumors. It said that Jay-Z hooked up with Rihanna, and he passed her the herp, and then she hooked up with Chris and passed him the herp, and he found out, and that's how they fought in the car. And it was this whole thing, but nothing has been proven to be fact. But that is what has been said, which supposedly Usha has the herp too, and he even got sued for it by other people he slept with. And apparently they all got it through Diddy. Because they're all hooking up with the same woman at these Diddy parties, and is being passed around. But this is all just alleged. Even though a male street worker said that Diddy used to hire him to hook up with Cassie in front of him while he recorded it. And he also called the herb, and he sued Diddy for it. And they actually cashed him out on some money for it. But hey, allegedly. Now, Chris Brown used to date Dre and Michelle, who got big on reality TV, and she frequently visited Diddy parties. She's on plenty of videos at the Diddy parties. Now, this tape was supposedly out for sale as well, and it never came out to see the light of day. I'm thinking it was probably used by someone to get Chris and Dre to get in line and realize that they don't do what they're told. Everything's coming out, but that's just a rumor. I know Trey Songz has been like a supporting actor in many freak-off films. We know Trey Songz has been around for plenty of Diddy parties and videos everywhere. Justin Bieber, Odell Beckham, plenty of women in line. And also spoken out about how Trey treats them. Weird stuff he's into, how he likes to go for hours and hours. Kind of like Diddy. It's very similar to Diddy's fetishes, and I wouldn't be surprised if more cases come out against him. He's already battling a few with women, and he supposedly does have a tape that leaked to you. But it seems like a similar story, where people's tapes are threatened to come out. And then they go away real quickly, never to be spoken of again. I'm not sure if this is some type of power tactic, to show that you better do what I say, or I'm gonna expose you. Allegedly, nobody knows. Definitely Usher, because I'm a fan. But it is suspicious that suddenly, he deleted his entire Twitter history. Over 7,000 tweets, and then claimed it was just because he was hacked. I think what would shock people are the politicians. Ever since they indicted the mayor of New York, who is very close to Diddy, been with him in many situations. A lot of politicians are worried that their names are going to come up, and a lot of them have been silent on the Diddy case. In general, we don't know who's on these tapes, but we can imagine that a lot of people are shaking in their boots right now. Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs. Really, I've seen deals of the video. Okay, so you can verify that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was pornographic in nature. So who could be this person bigger than Diddy in this video that's being shot? Just one of many. Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron James. You know what? Can everybody just be real quiet for a second? I want to see if we can hear it. No, I don't hear anything at all. Nope, definitely not hearing LeBron James on the subject of Diddy, which is weird. I'm gonna actually need to hear from LeBron James on the subject of Diddy, because he speaks out about virtually every other topic. Nobody asks his opinion. He gives his opinion. He's lecturing us. He's called the king. So why stay mum on your boy? That's my question. They can't control you. Get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They could control Charles Barkley. They could control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce. But they can't control me. No name I won't name. And we didn't know what he was referring to then. I mean, it is weird when you think about how silent some of the biggest people have been. Which makes you ask a question. How come the DA has not charged anyone else, except Diddy, even though we know plenty of names associated with the Diddy parties? I think that only leaves one answer. They're working with the government because they don't want to go down. So, I don't know if Diddy's gonna get a deal to snitch on people when everybody's already working against him. It does seem that it's the person isn't like looking into the video. So it's to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, so the only other thing that could mean is that Diddy could be working with a third-party source to put this person out with one video. And this is a form of a threat to let people know there's multiple videos out there ready to come forward. And he could be doing this just to threaten it out there. don't work against, don't say anything against me, because I got videos on deck. Now, it's just a theory, but you have to think, if you were Diddy, and you knew this was coming, you had to have put something into play, in case people were going to work against you. You had to give them a reason to shut up. He loves the ability to manipulate and control people. Why? Most likely, because he was victimized by his mentor, who loved to control people. And his mentor was Andre. Now, apparently there's also a video with Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion doing some crazy things. And I would say that sounds ridiculous. But at this point, we know there's tons of tapes floating around, and I'm not sure I could believe anything is unbelievable. I already know Megan ate Onika box. Oh, I've seen the video. Megan ate the Onika box for the 16 feature. I've seen the video. Right now, do you want to know who got it? Nosy Hole Live has the videotape of Megan Thee Stallion going down on Onika Nosy Hole. I got it. She showed it to me. Now, I'm a Nicki fan, and I know that sounds wildly crazy, but Jaguar Wright hasn't been sued by Nicki Minaj for defamation, although Nicki has sued Nosy Hole Live for defamation when she said stuff about her. So I'm not saying anything is true. I'm just putting the information out there for you. And the question is, celebrities have sued people for less. So why has no one came out and sued Jaguar for saying any of the stuff that she's been saying about big-time celebrities at Diddy's parties? But I just wish to be honest, that the people that are being accused of certain things, they should just step up and be like, yo, they bugging, I mean, they're dead dish. Like, this is a very transparent place and world in these days. It's very easy to say that's not true. When I wasn't at that party, I didn't do what they said I did. So being silent is sometimes the loudest thing in the world, if the things aren't true. Because I hear stuff that Jaguar says, and she'll be on like 10 toes down, like not allegedly. And I've been sued for not saying allegedly. That's why I got this problem I have now with this judgment. I would think that they could shut that down. So I'm curious now. I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm saying, yo, why? How come? Like, you can get sued for nothing. So I'm like, yo, how come nobody's suing these people? Why won't they just say no? Like, I'm not calling out no names, but we all know that they saying is nuts. And not just for Homeboy. For everybody who is at the parties. Like someone was here. I'm not going to even hold you. Like, I can't pretend I don't want to know. But I'm saying, DiCaprio, and I could tell you stories about that dude later, or at another time. Like, why do we all have to wait? I don't want to wait. Just tell us what happened, or tell us it didn't happen. Not just y'all. Anyone that's being accused of that, bro. Because we definitely want to know. The whole world wants to know. But when people start resigning and people start erasing their Twitters, then it just starts to look suspicious. And, it makes people ask questions. How come so few celebrities have said anything? And the ones that say something are asking the other celebrities to come out and say they didn't go. They didn't do that. They didn't have nothing to do with it. People could be waiting to make sure Diddy cannot get bail when he tries again, because they might be worried if he comes out. They have to be responsible for what they've said, because he does have powerful friends and powerful secrets. Look at it like this. I look at real plain and stuff. Ain't no whistleblower facts, is there? But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Trey. Nobody's stepping up. This man right here, he'd been involved with the FBI for most his career. He got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with drug money. President Obama got him out of prison. So it's not like she don't have no moves. Click here if you want to see the proof that Diddy actually put the hit on Tupac. And I'll see you tomorrow for another video.